Oh no, I didn't realize he was right there!
But that was last time. We have wiped that slate clean and we're fresh as a daisy back to our home turf in TeamSport Eastleigh. Gang's all here, ready for 3 sessions of 15 minutes to get the fastest lap available and maybe, just maybe, get a new PB. Or beat Mark. Either would make me very happy. But I've got to tell you now, it was an evening of backmarkers, ignore this bit, a weird hand issue, and more backmarkers. Welcome to Clean Slate Karting. We're going to pick it up on practice green going to practice reds, and I've decided we're going to add an overtaking counter for this session. I've just got a feeling, it's just a vibe that maybe we'll be needing it a lot for this session. So we're on to greens and the session starts. Now we have a few brand new, never done this before go-karters out there, so some confusing things may happen, like this driver coming to a complete stop on this corner. I get a little bump on the behind for stopping, and now all I'm thinking about is getting round this karter to get some clean air in front of me. The bumper karter, who is behind me, is keen to get past too, and I have the inside line on this corner, so I'm able to brake out in front of them. The first few laps are generally used to get the tyres warmed up and get as grippy as possible. It's also been a few weeks since I've been on this track, so reminding myself of how to take some of these corners is definitely necessary. I go through what we imaginatively have called the window corners, and I'm ready to use the boost for the first time. The boost button gives me a 3-second speed boost when I'm at top speed, and resets every 40 seconds, so every other lap I can use it. We've arrived at our first back marker of the session, and it's early days, so we should expect these first few lap times to be not some of my best work, particularly when I've got some overtaking to do. The bumper karter who is behind me is clearly a very good driver, so they take this inside line all the way through, and 35 brakes more than they need to on this corner, which forces me out wide, which allows me to attempt my first switchback of the day and take them on this inside line. I want to go wide out towards the windows here and get close to the left as I enter the down ramp. If I slam on the brakes hard enough, the kart will do the turning for me. And you're going to see me do that corner in many different ways in the future laps. Sometimes I thought I'd mastered it, sometimes I'll spin erratically around it. But either way, even though I've done that corner so many times, it's still a bit of a work in progress. So we're going to fast forward round these turns and get to kart 34, who doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight. Neither does 12, and I can do a very pleasing overtake round the outside line and use my boost a second time to accelerate away from them. We still need to be in race mode because we're in an absolute backmarker sandwich out there, and surely soon, if I overtake enough karts, there'll be clean air in front of me. I turn early into this first corner whilst 15 goes a bit wide, and I know this top ramp corner, I've got the inside line and I can cleanly turn, and finally, we can breathe. We have a lovely open road ahead of us. We might even be onto our first decent lap time here. And we go and do this. I'm not even anywhere close to making that corner. What am I trying to do? No idea what's going on over there, by the way. It's like I'm in experiment mode. I'm trying to do something new with how hard to brake or braking earlier, but, well, the experiment well and truly failed, obviously.
Ooh, boy.
But it's fine. This is fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's not a race. Our aim is fastest lap. If we spin out trying something new, then hey, we should be commending that bravery. Anyway, enough delusion. So what that little spin out means is we've got Mark and Sam in front of us who know what they're doing around this track and are currently looking for a way round kart 15. They find it on this inside line, as do I, and we give a little thank you for letting us pass, and now we've got a fun race on our hands. Sam goes a little bit wide there, then bumps into the pit lane corner, and clearly isn't too happy with himself. So a lap later we arrive at more back markers, and there's a real yellow flag traffic jam vibe that's going on in this corner. Mark, Sam, and then me overtake kart 34, and this next lap we may have some admin to do for a few more overtakes. Sam takes this inside line past 18, and I'm thinking about doing the same, but decide to take the wide line, which actually works out as 18 goes far wide, and we're one overtake closer to getting some decent lap times in the bag. Now I'm more than happy to follow Sam's line. Sam and I are pretty evenly matched, so I don't mind copying anything he does for the time being. But lo and behold, we head up the ramp and get to backmarker carnage! 35 slams those brakes on and Mark hits the back of him. He immediately apologises and I follow this inside line, overtaking Sam and 35 in one fell swoop. Mark is a bit unhappy as 35 really did slam those emergency brakes on. Mark takes the inside line down the ramp and uses that wonderful aggression to overtake on the inside, which seems to completely freak out the kart beside him and spins, and another overtake, this one requiring no skill at all, is in the books. Now there is a theory out there, perhaps started by us, I can't confirm or deny, that certain karts perform better than others. And I'm doing a great job, if I do say so myself, of keeping up with Mark. And even trying to take him on this inside line and keeping right at it all the way through this section. A few laps and a few overtakes later, Mark takes this familiar inside line and manages to get past 28 on the down ramp. I think I've got the inside line here as well, with 28 going a bit wide, but what I don't expect is 28 isn't afraid to keep pace with me. So now we've got a bit of a race on again. 28, whether they're part of the brand new Karters group or not, is defending very well, even on this up ramp. With more aggression I can probably get in front, but I decide to bide my time, loads of time in the session left, and I'm backing myself to find an overtake somewhere. As we go round these corners we both catch up with the car in front pretty quickly, and as we all go sailing down the ramp, Kart 35 slams those brakes on which 28 isn't ready for and neither am I. I give a little sorry wave to, well let's face it, no one because both drivers are still in front of me, and we continue our little dangerous three-way race. Now dangerous because slamming the brake on and flicking the steering wheel is a great way to turn around some corners if you know how to do it. But slamming the brake on and coming to almost a complete stop, which I'm starting to notice 35 is doing a lot, is going to get you black flagged. 35 loses all confidence and speed, and I'm trying to get round the outside of 28 and it's overtaking mayhem. And to add insult to injury, no overtaking because we're on yellows. By the way, black flag means come into the pits because you're doing something wrong, like slamming on the brakes at almost every single turn. So we resume our race with foot to the floor 28, and after another lap behind them, I'm arguably a bit too aggressive on this corner, but I get the overtake done. Please don't black flag me. After a few more overtakes, we come to the pièce de résistance of the first session. Isn't hindsight a wonderful thing? I present to you the fastest lap of session 1. So towards the end of the session we finally ended up getting some free track ahead of us to start to really focus on lines and corners and trying to be as consistent as we could. We made it to 19 overtakes, oh no, make that 20, actually make that 21, which is wonderful timing because those yellows mean session 1 is over. And here's just a little reminder before we see what my time was, that this, so far, is my personal best. So this is how we line up. I got a 32.9, which I should be pretty pleased with as it's been a while on this track and there was a lot of traffic. Marvellous Mark coming second in the session with a 32.2 is an amazing time, just 0.1 second off my personal best. But we haven't got time to waste. We mustn't dwell on these results because we have session 2 coming up and better lap times are out there. We just need to find them. We're going to pick things up a few laps in where we seem to be having a bit of a problem. And it's not all these go-karts in front of us. You can see here in this absolute slurry of karts I'm deep in, I'm flexing my fingers a bit. It's an odd problem I'm having, but for now we should focus on kart 9 braking in front of Sam for no reason, and just this absolutely wonderful mess of crashes. I should be angry, I should be disappointed, I should be frustrated I'm not getting fast lap times in. But honestly, I love the busy madness of karting sometimes. Like this karter facing completely the wrong way. Who knows why he's facing that way? We'll never know. Anyway, this problem. I'm actually heading into the pits because it's becoming such a nuisance. But first I get accused of something frankly unspeakable. What?
No. When I'm turning, I feel like my fingers are going into that, and I don't think I felt that before.
So what I'm explaining badly here is when I turn left, my fingers are almost getting stuck between the front of the car and the wheel. And this is bizarre because it's never happened to me on any kart before. The marshal is as helpful as possible, and to be fair, probably thinks I'm a bit mental. But it's definitely not in my head. Why is this happening? To be honest, most drivers probably just crack on with it, but I'm so confused, and it really is, it's annoying. And clearly my pit stop hasn't left me any less perplexed.
What's going on?
But anyway, I absolutely rocket out of the pits, and worse things have happened at sea. I'll just have to crack on with the odd knuckle graze. We get a few nice clear laps with no back markers at all, and we haven't had any overtaking practice in a while, which is about to show. Make that strike 2 for the down ramp corner and how often I get regularly confused by it. I get a little bit of luck that I can just drive off from my mistake. And a few corners later we're able to remind ourselves how to overtake successfully. I'm definitely still in uncomfortable knuckles mode on some of these corners. Now you probably don't want to see me go round and round this track with nothing in front of me. That was a trick, yes you do, you love go-karting and any go-karting content you're desperately thankful for. But just in case that's not your thought process, we'll skip to some more back markers and some more fun overtaking challenges. We're going to pick things up on yellows, and we're definitely concentrating and not focusing on a hand still. We're heading round this corner and I know if I see green before the car in front, I can get the jump on them. I am literally so focused on the admin of looking at my car that I don't realise I'm falling behind when it goes green. Luckily, I'm still able to keep pace round these window corners. 30 gives me a little over the shoulder check, and I'm able to pass them on this nice wide line round the down ramp corner. 1 down, 3 to go. 12 goes for evasive action when the car in front brakes too hard. This allows me to catch up. Kart 30 brakes, and brakes again, which means I can get up alongside 12 and take this inside line to get the overtake done. Later on in the lap 12 very kindly lets me through here, yes I'm counting it as an overtake, and a lap later we get this inside line and nicely and aggressively screech round and try and avoid the switchback potential that's happening on our left by messily making our way through the pit lane corners, and this leads me nicely on to the fastest lap of the session. Bad at all. Well, actually, we have no idea. Now, what's coming up next is one of my evening personal highlights. Now, just a reminder that red lights mean come to a slow stop, not have a panic attack and emergency stop like your driving instructor has just slapped the dashboard. We shouldn't laugh, and we're not going to, but we are going to appreciate just the complete commitment and panic to the red flag, especially to make you do a 180 on the track. To be fair, karting is difficult, and the amount of spin-outs in my first couple of sessions was frankly beyond belief. Towards the end of the session, we're utterly convinced these yellows mean this session is over, and I'm very much in standby mode when suddenly it goes green and I realise I have some more wonderful opportunities to overtake, especially 33, who I had trouble getting past the last session. There's a bit of deja vu with this corner, and I've not made it easy for myself to keep up with a pack of 2 in front of me. Luckily, there's some mad sudden braking here, and I'm now in hunt mode and I'm going to be looking for any inside line or gap I can find. 33 gives me a little look.
Eyes on the road, 10 and 2, 10 and 2!
and I ease off and allow him to get ahead of me on this turn. I'm hoping the kart in front keeps us tightly packed together, and I'm doing all I can to take different lines to find space and get through. I had to brake a little there to not give 33 a bump, and I'm trying to be as patient as I can on this down ramp, taking my own line, but 33 goes through it slowly, which slows me down again. I screech my way through the pit lane corners, trying to come out of it as wide as I possibly can, and could definitely be a bit more aggressive than I'm being on this next corner. Up the ramp and 33 gets pretty close to the kart in front with more erratic braking, and again I'm trying to take my own lines and, as tempting as it may be, not copy what's happening in front of me. Wide again here, and it's time to get brave and make this attempted switchback a success. We're almost neck and neck down this ramp, and finally, I make a successful inside line on this down ramp and pass 33. I still have work to do because 32 is still ahead, but I'm determined and still sticking with my inside line routine. They slow up when they see me turn, and I'm delighted with my driving to get past both drivers in such a short space of time. The next lap later, we're on to yellows, and again I'll take you through my thought process, which is, session's done. Good session, guys. Let's yellow this bad boy back to the pits. Lovely evening outside, by the way. Oh wait, it's green. Foot to the floor. Go, 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 go. I'm surprised. I'm shocked. But I'm also licking my lips for more overtakes, and find an immediate opportunity here on this corner. And down the ramp we go, where I think there's a gap available, but I put the brakes on as 8 goes wide. Again, I'm taking my own lines, and ideally I want to go wide out of this corner, but 8 brakes hard, but my reactions are quick enough to slow down and stay close, going wide into this corner and finding that reliable inside line on the up ramp. I'm fully charged up for overtaking now, and there's another kart in front I want to get to as quickly as I can before the session ends. I do a pretty good job of catching up, and turn this corner to see its yellow flags. And this time the session is definitely over. Pretty pleased with those bonus overtakes in the end there, especially some lovely little revenge on 33. I wave to my fans and head into the pits to find out the scores on the doors. So forgive the terrible angle, but we improved our time by around 0.3 of a second. Mark rose to the top with a blistering 31.6, and I'm very proud of Mike to get into the 31s. You know what? I'm proud of all of us. I'd like to think we're doing pretty great times considering this is only our 6th visit to TeamSport Eastleigh. That said, I've a feeling we can do better. On to the third and final session, and just a little warning, if you're an amateur, please stop watching this video now. Professionals only from this point on. I'm dead serious. I'm not serious at all. But session 3 was full of drivers who knew what they were doing, including Sam, who's behind me, who didn't realise this had turned red and couldn't understand why I was stopping. So I got over my giggles, and apart from getting switchbacked by Michael, credit where credit's due, that was a lovely move. Session 3 was a wonderful open highway to settle in, focus, and chase down a better lap time than I had done the previous 2 sessions. What's to follow is my fastest lap of session 3. And just to see if we improved, we're going to mirror our fastest lap from session 1 at the same time. Enjoy. So I don't know about you, but session 3 looked a bit quicker than session 1. Session 1 I was 0.8 seconds off my personal best. But did I look 0.8 seconds faster in that third session? Did I just beat my PB? The session ends and we head in for the night to discover something quite amazing.
Have you seen my time?
I broke my PB by 0.4 of a second. And the more eagle-eyed of you may have spotted, it was the exact same time as my cousin Mike. Add that to the list of things that run in the family. I'm certain our parents are very proud of us. I'm not sure how often this happens, but I'm still so happy to get a new personal best. And that's it. We've achieved what we set out to do. Still didn't beat Mark though, so...